Hey plant friends! Hey everybody! Thanks for coming by. Today, what I have for you is a super fun little July favorites video. It's been summer and a lot of my plants have been popping off. I've also gotten a few new additions that I'm super proud of. So I'm going to share them with you today. But before we get into it, if you could just take a moment and give this video a like or maybe even a subscribe, that would really help me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And if you have any thoughts about what we're going to talk about today, go ahead and join the conversation in the comments below. This channel is still small enough that I'm pretty much able to respond to all the comments, so let me know what you're thinking. But without any further ado, here is my top 5 favorites for July. Okay, so I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but sometimes when I'm like trying to pick favorites for these favorites videos, it really feels like picking my favorite children. And I'm not gonna lie, like pretty much all my plants are my favorite. Like I have them in my house for a reason, and that reason is because they like them. I chose them because I like them, so it's really hard to pick. But last time this video was really long, so we're just gonna like keep it concise today. So just because a plant isn't here right now, it doesn't mean it's not my favorite. They're all my favorite. It's like a hard thing to do, you guys. All right, so my first favorite plant right now is this Philodendron Glorious. Now, this plant is one that I had on my wish list for a really long time. I had a trade lined up with a friend of mine, but the plant that I was growing out for that person was growing really slow, and it was just like a whole nightmare. And this plant came up for sale, and I couldn't help myself. So I got it because I have no impulse control like a child. I think that everyone knows how that feels though. So anyway, I'll tell you the history on this plant a little bit. This is a Philodendron Glorious, like I said, and the Philodendron Glorious is a hybrid between the Philodendron Melanochrysum, my favorite but also problem child, also personally victimizes me. I cry about it, but I also love it, can't get rid of it. But crossing it with the much more stable, even-tempered, hardy Gloriosum has produced this beautiful hybrid that is essentially the best of both worlds. These plants are actually, I would say, probably the rarest of the Melanochrysum hybrids. You don't really see these that often for sale. When you do, they're usually unrooted cuttings and purges, but this absolute stunning beauty is from the queen herself, Enid at NSC Tropicals. And this plant, you can see, is very large, which is amazing, and it has multiple leaves that are all absolutely perfect. And on top of that, one of the things that sold me on this plant, other than the fact that it is freaking incredible and beautiful, is that this plant that I have here in my hands was from a plant that was one of the original seedlings from the original hybridization of the Melanochrysum and Gloriosum. That is incredible. I don't know how I'm allowed to have this. I feel like I should probably have to fill out an application process or something, but that wasn't the case. I picked her up, she's in my care now, and I love her. I'm gonna take really good care of her forever, and she's just beautiful, and I'm so glad that I waited until this plant was the plant that I ended up with, because I just couldn't be more ecstatic, and I can't wait to grow her even bigger and more beautiful than she already is. This is my Philodendron Glorious, and it was easy to include her on this list of favorites for July. So for the next one, I thought it'd be fun to mix it up because I've got so many philodendrons and Aetherium and Monstera on this channel. So I thought, how about a Hoya? This is my super cute little small baby Hoya Croniana Super Silver. And it's so cute. I just love the silver Hoyas. I think they are so fun. They just don't look like something that could have come about in nature, and yet here we have a plant with silver leaves. This is probably one of the more accessible silver Hoya price-wise, but she's living her best life in Pawn and growing like a champ for me. I am so pleased. I got this plant as a, like, I think it was like a 2-leaf cutting, but it was like one node that had 2 leaves on it. So absolutely thrilled that we've got growth, we've got a happy little plant, and hopefully eventually it's gonna be a big lady. So mixing it up a little bit more from there, we have this beautiful, lovely Aetherium. This is an Aetherium crystallinum Indonesian red stem. I didn't have any idea that there were so many different varieties of Aetherium crystallinum, but I kind of need them all. So I was really pleased to get an opportunity to buy this beautiful example of an Aetherium crystallinum variety, and I actually was even more excited to get it from a friend of mine. And I think that this plant is just stunning. I would say that it is a little bit darker than the regular form crystallinum, and I think the veins are a little bit smaller. I don't know if it's gonna pick it up on camera, but the margin or the rim of the leaf has a very decisive red color, and the stems at the top are a little bit more red than the regular one, and also the new leaves apparently are supposed to come out bright red. There is another form of Aetherium crystallinum red that is different than this apparently, so I don't know. I don't have one like in my possession to show you guys right now, but pretty cool. Okay, so backing it up, back to our, regular philodendron fare, I have this plant. This plant, like, what do we even say about this plant? This probably doesn't, like, look like really anything much to maybe some of you, but this is Philodendron Glorious. And this plant is having a moment right now, but it is extremely rare. It used to be considered pretty much a unicorn, and I'm the only person that I know anywhere near me that has one. My friend also has one, but she got it at the same time that I got mine from the same source. So this plant is so cool. I absolutely love unicorn, like plant nerd plants. This plant is a plant nerd plant, and it does look like basically nothing special except for that the new leaves come out this most insane strawberry, like Laffy Taffy color. It's amazing. And unfortunately, I don't have any new leaves to show you guys right now, but you can see it looks like she might be working on one because that caterpillar was not that size when I got her here. And it looks like there's a little bitty baby, tiny little piece of green poking out. So I'm hoping that that is the new leaf. And she's been doing really well with me, rooting like crazy. She probably deserves like a prize for like best rooter for the month of July. And I just cannot wait to see her grow up and flourish for me. This is a piece of plant history, and as you guys all probably have gleaned by now, I'm a big nerd, and I just really like that kind of stuff. So Philodendron Glorious is one of my favorites for July. Okay, so last but not least, how could I make a favorites video without including my #1 favorite overall? And that is the queen herself, Queen Celine. This is my absolutely huge, out of control, stunningly gorgeous philodendron strawberry shake. And she is obviously one of my favorites because, I mean, just look at this girl. Look at these leaves. They're so incredible. Beautiful variegation, beautiful colors. She's gigantic. She's got, she's swaying all over the place. She's got a half moon here. She's got a half moon there. And I just I can't get over that this plant is in my house and I get to look at her every single day. This is my number one overall favorite plant right now. Grab it in a fire. I can't believe that this plant is real, especially because strawberry shakes are really having a moment right now. Like, everybody wants these bad boys, and to have this one in such a beautiful state is pretty awesome. So for obvious reasons, my number one favorite for July is my Philodendron Strawberry Shake. Other than that, that's gonna be it for the day. Please go ahead and give this video a like if you enjoyed it, if you learned anything, if it was helpful, or if you think that I picked the wrong plants, tell me which ones are your favorites in the comments. Have a good one, you guys. Bye!